TB1006 102822. Barry, the variant FSE, did the beam steering yesterday. We had set up the IC profiler for him so that he could do it after hours, which is after 7 because of the E&M interference with the subway. It was 30 by 30 for photons, 25 by 25 for cones, all build up for the photons, 0.5 or 6 MeV, and 1 cm for the rest of the electron energies. It looks like he did well. In general, we want this corner to be 0, 0, so it's the 270-degree orientation on the software of IBA. As you can see, the hand control is set up over here, and this box is over here, and that's how you know this orientation is correct. So you want it set up this way. And we did run the network cable to the crossover box over here. We are using the new cables and new chamber. Align the box roughly to the lasers. Makes your job easier. Make sure you square the box as much as possible, as well as level it as properly as possible. And then fill your water as close to the pins as possible, and we were actually using distilled water to add a little bit of extra. So level the whole thing first, and then go over here and do your definition of the central axis and the beam surface. Do those at the same time. So do the central axis and beam surface. Central axis by observing the shadow at depth with the chamber at depth, and then bring it up and do the water surface, and then do this guy first. It's hard to see. And then click this and you'll get the check mark, and then you back out. And then do this guy, click this guy, and you'll get the check mark. It's already there, of course. And then you back out. And then you can verify that it actually took it by taking it off central axis and off surface, and then driving it to there by pressing this and then this guy, and it should drive to where it was. So make sure that's done. Turn this on first before turning on the PC. And here we go, turn on the PC. It has the IBA software. Here it is, we turn it on. And there are weird instructions for making sure that turns on properly. Here are the general modes or energy and field size combinations that we're going to collect for PDD and profiles. Essentially, you open your queue, and typically open photons first. And then you hit measurement to get your controller, and you hit connect, and it will go through its thing. For photons, for the CC13 field and reference chambers, you want them on high sensitivity for the field and reference. It will go, all of these needs to be checked. Gantry coordinates, if there's an X on there, it's because you did not set central axis and water surface at the water phantom first. Otherwise, you cannot continue. That has to be done first. This will be grayed out, and you won't be able to select it. Hit high voltage setup over here. And then quick reminder, the beam sequence that we have created for the TB 1006 is explained in this thing, and it's actually pretty well optimized. But the things you have to remember are, for regular photon mode, the sensitivity needs to be high for both of them, field and reference. And then for FFF, which we only did for 6X, it has to be on low because of course it's too high. So it has to be low for field and reference. And then for electrons, the sensitivity has to be medium for both field and reference. Those were the only weird tricks and that we ran into, and actually slowed us down for a good half an hour.